everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do that now. Don't forget to tap the bell for notifications. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. We're breaking down the latest sports news for you as usual, so do all that. Follow all the steps that I just told you. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. Chris?
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
What's up, everybody? Jackie Ray here. You can follow me everywhere at JRay the Fanatic.
Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Britt Johnson. You guys can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson. Y'all know the drill. Jackie, what day is it today? It's Taco Tuesday!
Wait, can I just get this out really quick?
I remember because I said it the other day, me and you were mustard and ketchup, and we're mustard and ketchup again today.
Oh my God.
Look at that! It's a theme.
Well, how about cheese and gallo? There you go. What about that?
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. Oh, because it's Taco Tuesday.
Staying on theme. I'm just trying to stay on theme.
I have to say really quick, because you guys know we always give Chris flack because he's terrible at picking games. This is the first week he and I have really kept good track of who picked who. I'm sad to say, because of them damn Buffalo Bills, Chris has beat me this week.
Barely. I don't even know if I won it.
He beat me this week by
Barely.
one game.
Is that why you were celebrating or what?
Yeah, I was so hyped. And I was just making sure that, we'll talk about it later. But I was hoping that the Cowboys were going to steal the deal, but they didn't help me out.
No, that was the one. I was like, come on.
We'll talk.
I'm gonna need 2 more good Chris weeks to trust his stance.
Yo, Devin needs to lay off, man. Devin been on me like crazy. I get it. I called the whole NBA finals like that's not enough. So I get it. I respect it. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's right. It was one game, Chris. It was 1 week.
It was barely. That's why I don't even want it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But congratulations. I definitely had to give you your props because you know it doesn't happen. Right.
Oh my God, y'all disrespectful, man.
11 weeks left. Yeah.
Well, good for you, Chris. We're all very proud of you over here. We also missed you yesterday on the show.
We did.
Yeah,
I did.
We had no one to make fun of, really. So we're glad.
Hilarious. So funny. Hilarious. Comedy. So glad to be back.
You guys, let's get into the first news story. Okay, let's talk about John Wall. So Washington Wizards fans are going to be happy about this one. So he's been sidelined, as we all know, with multiple injuries since the beginning of 2019, but he revealed on ESPN that he is ready to go again. He said, quote, "I'm great. I'm 110% healthy, just working on my body, my diet, just waiting to see when they'll let us play again because I'm itching." So it looks like we are finally going to see John Wall back on the court again. It's been a long time since we've all seen that. So Britt, I want to go to you first. Do you think that John Wall can help the Wizards end their drought and finally win?
I would hope so. I mean, the man's been getting paid $40 million the last 2 seasons per year. So $80 million of not doing nothing. So he owes them a few games. And obviously we know he's supposed to be what the team was built around. It's supposed to be John Wall's team, even though Bradley Beal has tried to make it his team more times than not. It's John Wall's team. So hopefully this helps. I mean, I don't think they're going to win a championship with this team, but I do think that they'd be able to at least make an 8th seed or 7th seed in the playoffs when John Wall returns, because it was funny because when I was talking about John Wall last week in the chat, people were like, dang, I forgot John Wall existed. Like a lot of we haven't seen him play basketball in a long time. So I think I expect to see him return. And if he returns to what he was before, like John Wall is that guy. He's a great player. So I think he'll definitely be able to at least have them win, even a quarter more games than they were before, which would hopefully put them in a position to make it to the playoffs, especially in the Eastern Conference, which we all know is a little bit easier.
Yeah, actually, to your point, Britt, a lot of the tweets that I was seeing about all of this was like, why does it feel like it's been 10 years since we've seen John Wall play? I forgot John Wall even existed. All of this stuff, which is really savage, but it's true. I mean, I think I guess it'll have been 2 years. So that is a long time to be out of the game. Chris, going to you next. With John Wall back and ready to play, do you think that this will entice Bradley Beal even more to stay in Washington?
Here's the thing. I really, really don't think Bradley Beal is trying to leave. I really am convinced that this man wants to stay in Washington for whatever reason. So I think that these rumors are here, and that's more going to be aggressive on the Lakers or Clippers or whoever else is trying to get Bradley Beal's side rather than Bradley Beal. I don't think he's trying to go anywhere. So I think definitely with John Wall coming back, he's going to feel even more confident in that team. But I don't have much confidence in the Wizards at all, even with John Wall coming back. But I'm sure that he's going to be very excited to have John Wall back regardless.
You don't think they would make an 8th seed?
No, because the team is built terribly. Like even without John Wall, the team is so bad.
Is terrible. You don't have to you don't even have to get a 500 to make it in the East. Like
that's fine. The teams that made the playoffs last year, I'm not putting them over Orlando. I'm not putting them over because Brooklyn's actually full strength. I'm not putting them over a lot of those teams. They can be a 9th seed. I'm a Wizard hater, so that's also not going to help.
Which doesn't count, but sure.
Yeah. Right, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, well, this is Chris's prediction for the Wizards for the upcoming season. So let's all remember this right now. And then Jesse, I want to ask you. So obviously, like I mentioned, it's been 2 years since he's been fully healthy. Do you think that he's going to be able to come back as strong as he was before, or is he going to be a weaker player because it's been so long?
That's never a question that I can answer because we've seen how difficult it is to bounce back from injury. Sometimes it is a physical hurdle to bounce back from that. Sometimes it's mental because when you come back from an injury like that, you are afraid to re-aggravate that injury and then that impacts your play. So I think the only person who can really answer that is John Wall, you know what I mean, where he's at and where he's at mentally. Because I think sometimes people do neglect the mental because they work so hard on rehabbing that injury that they forget. You got to train your mind to not overthink it, to not aggravate some other injury because you're overthinking this specific one. So I actually don't have an answer for that. I think I need to see him play a couple times before I can answer that, fully. I saw someone in the chat that I just wanted to talk about real quick. 941 Jojo said, we obviously don't know John Wall because we haven't seen him in his prime. There's literally people who have been conceived, born, and are walking and talking since the last time we've seen this man play. And it's just one of those things that it's out of sight, out of mind. That is a long time to be out of the game and to have a sincere answer on whether he's going to impact the game or not. It's a wait and see for me. We just don't know yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully he does do well. Hopefully he's able to come back as strong as he was before. It's clear that he's very excited about finally being able to play again, and I'm sure Wizards fans are just jumping for joy over this. So none of us are Wizards fans. We can't really relate, but congratulations.
I don't even know a Wizards fan. Does anyone know a Wizards fan?
No.
I never met one in my life.
I don't either. I go to DC very often, and I don't even think I've seen one in DC before, to be honest.
Right.
The Knicks are bad, and whenever we play the Wizards, and it's like a Knicks game. It's like a home Knicks game whenever we play against the Wizards too. So I don't even know if they root for their own team. To be real with you.
Yeah, y'all are only right away. So
right.
It's so sad. Well, maybe if the team actually does well this year with John Wall and Bradley Beal, they'll start getting more fans, some bandwagon fans. Maybe. I know our viewers on the Fumble just love a good bandwagon fan. Just kidding. Let's get into the next news story, guys. Let's talk about Kawhi. Okay, so Kendrick Perkins, I mean, we've been covering the crazy things that he says throughout quarantine. I feel like he has been stirring the pot even more than usual. He said that the reason the Clippers didn't have as much success in the bubble is because, quote, they did not have a leader. So, Leo, I put a clip in there for you, and I forgot to check before we went live if you had it downloaded. But if you can play that clip for us, that would be great. If not, I'll paraphrase it.
You got to do it in the Kawhi voice. If you got to paraphrase it, though, you got to do it.
So basically, all that he was saying was that the Clippers didn't do well because they didn't have a vocal leader. They didn't have somebody holding everybody accountable in the locker room. Kawhi would just sit back. He pretty much blames the collapse of the Clippers in the playoffs on Kawhi. It's all squarely on Kawhi's shoulders. Kendrick also said that
especially in a franchise player, it's part of getting paid the big bucks. You got to deal with it. Long as they deliver on the court, that's one thing. Second of all, they don't have a leader. The Clippers do not have a leader. Kawhi Leonard is not a guy that speaks out vocally and talks about it. He just goes out there and performs and does his job.
So, he's really ripping into Kawhi there. He also said that he thinks that the Clippers need somebody, or they need actually Rondo himself because he's willing to hold guys accountable. So I want to talk to you guys about this. I think that a lot of people feel that Kawhi was the guy in Toronto. Is it fair to say that he was not the guy with the Clippers? So Britt, as our Clippers fan, I have to ask you, do you think Kawhi lacked leadership with the Clippers, and can their downfall this season be laid squarely on Kawhi's shoulders?
No, because I think the best leaders lead by example and they create other leaders. I don't think it should be a lead and follow situation, especially in basketball. I just don't agree with that. I think the best teams are teams where you have a team full of leaders and a team full of like people that can go out there and hold themselves accountable and, do what they have to do. I don't think every team needs to be like a Michael Jordan situation where he has to go and cuss everybody out for not doing their job. The Clippers last year didn't have a leader either, and they still did very well in that first round against the Warriors when the Warriors were still healthy and took them to a game 6 and, had that situation where they were down 30 going into the fourth quarter and ended up beating a healthy Warriors team. And that was with not one single star on that team. So I don't think that it needs to be like a star or a leader that has to come in and tell everybody else what to do. I think these are grown men, and I think they should know what to do themselves. And I think everybody should, which I think Kawhi does best. I think he leads by example. And I didn't even really take it as Perk bashing him or saying anything negative by saying that moment. He's like, Kawhi comes out there, does what he does, and he does his job and leads in that way. So I didn't really think that it was like him I didn't take it personally as him bashing Kawhi Leonard. I just think that I don't think we need a leader, like a person that has to come in there. That's what a coach is for. Coaches should be able to hold their players accountable. And I think Doc Rivers maybe didn't do that as great as he normally does, which is why, they were a little bit off in the playoffs. But no, I think the team is fine as is. I don't think there needs to be one person that comes in and kind of like is everybody's daddy and tells everybody what to do. These are grown men. They're NBA players. They've been in the league, most of them, for a long time. There's not even a ton of we don't have any starters that haven't been in the league for a decent amount of time, 8-9 years, so these guys should know how to handle themselves and know how to deal with those situations.
So Jackie, do you agree with Britt, or do you think that the Clippers could benefit from having somebody more vocal like Rondo in the locker room?
Having a solid leader is always going to be beneficial. It's always going to be, having that one person in your ear to motivate you to do what you need to do is always going to be beneficial. I don't think Kawhi's that guy. I don't think Kawhi even wants to be that guy. But I do agree with Britt. If we're talking about a younger team, then he would be more of a detriment, in my opinion, because now you've got younger guys that are looking up to you, that want you to be, they want to lead by not just example, but your words, because we also talk about how, you had to call out LeBron James for just looking at guys like they were crazy, because that is a shot to their, securities and whatnot. So I think if we were talking about a younger team, I think then that now we can really look at Kawhi and say he's actually detrimental to the team. But, like Britt said, when we were talking about pretty much a veteran squad, and I've said it time and time again, you got a squad. It's an arsenal. You know what I mean? You guys should have been able to go out there and act like you as a freaking arsenal, but you didn't. So I think that a word from Kawhi, who knows how that would have gone over, because we hear that Paul George went in there and said something and people started rolling their eyes. So it doesn't, you speaking a word might not actually be it you going out there and doing what you're supposed to do will probably be it when you're talking about a squad of veterans. That's why Paul George got the eye roll, because they didn't feel like he performed. So nobody wants to hear what you have to say. I don't think that this squad in particular needs that type of vocal leader, because it's just not a young squad. So this is guys that knows what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay, interesting perspective. And then Chris, do you feel that Kendrick Perkins is underestimating Kawhi's ability to lead or the style in which he chooses to lead, or do you agree with what he said?
For the first time ever, I completely agree with Kendrick Perkins on this one. I do completely agree that it's like Britt and Jackie said. I don't think that's at a fault for Kawhi Leonard. That's just not who Kawhi Leonard is. He's never been that. When he was playing for the Spurs, he had vocal leaders in Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. I mean, Tim Duncan, the same thing. Exactly. And the big one for the Raptors, like it's great as Kawhi Leonard was, Kyle Lowry is that guy that's going to be the one that's going to be in everybody's ear and is going to talk. That's just not Kawhi Leonard, and I don't think the Clippers need that from Kawhi Leonard. Do I think that they do need some kind of guy to have to rally the troops kind of guy? I do think so. I'm a firm believer that championship teams do need that kind of player. And I think with what Britt was saying with the Warriors, I feel like the Clippers themselves were that for each other because they all believe in the guy next to them. So they were that for each other. Patrick Beverley talking to Lou talking to Trez line. So I think they were that for each other. And I think that kind of got lost in translation when you have these two new superstars. That part of what made the Clippers so magical was lost. So I do think that it is important. And I think that was something that was forgotten in this year's postseason. I don't think it's going to happen again. So I don't know if they necessarily need to bring in a Rajon Rondo or something. I think they do have those guys. They just have to. The chemistry is the biggest part, and I think we all know that was what was missing this season for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. That wraps up Need to Know News. So, Chris, take it away.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Post Up. Quarantine edition with your boy Chris. I was trying to do the little moonwalk. Try to do the moonwalk, but it didn't work. But anyways, yes, we were starting up with Post Up, and I hate to do it, but we got to start off with the Cowboys because for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, we know what the reason was. People were going in on Cowboys fans, and look, I have a hard time doing this because I understand the troubles, I understand how it goes because, people like to put the expectations on the Cowboys. Yes, you can joke that sometimes they may put it on themselves, but at the same time, every fan base puts the expectations on themselves to the point where they don't get pointed and laughed at, but the Cowboys do. So that being said, I have to talk about it here because there's been memes going around with last night's loss. It was Andy Dalton's first game as a starter, and I got to say, as a non-Cowboys fan, I was one of those that thought that Andy Dalton was about to go out there and ball out. I thought he was going to go out there and shine. I was miserably wrong. Hence why I picked them winning for yesterday's game in the pool I had with Jackie Ray. I was wrong. They got smashed by Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, which led to this picture that came out and turned into a meme of this dude and his girlfriend who were in the stands when the score was 31-3, and she was there trying to console her man. But this right here was DC, who is also a Cowboys fan, same mood. But you know what? I'm sure there's a lot of sad Cowboys fans. I mean, it is week 6. They're now, 2-4. But the thing is, I feel like there's a lot more fans like this next dude I'm about to show you. And I want to check in on Britt and see how her television is doing. But this guy right here, Best Buy is probably trying to hit him up like, it looks like you need a new TV. You want to come and get this TV from us? Because this dude right here, he took anger to a whole nother level when he absolutely demolished his television set after the game against the Cardinals. Check out this guy.
Oh no! Oh my God! You cannot be serious.
It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over.
Oh, come on!
My guy. I mean, he's
got to be
Texas. Open carry in Texas.
I hope he's single. Because if I was his girl, this is over. There ain't no way you just gonna start shooting on a TV and I'm just gonna hang out with you still. I
had a hard time even collecting what's going on because this is how we do it with playing in the background. I'm like, Montel Jordan is not the song for what is happening right now. So I was just so thrown off by the entire thing. But yeah, It's an angry time. Britt Johnson, I'm coming to you. I know you are very hopeful in your team, and it's still early. 2-4. You guys are turning around, especially being in the NFC East. I'm sure you're probably feeling the same way. But I know you might have been upset about yesterday's game, knowing everything that's been going on for Cowboys. But were you as upset as this guy? Were you pissed off like that, or you feel like you can be all right?
I didn't watch the game yesterday. And I'm glad I didn't watch the game yesterday, but I'm also I'm not tripping. I'm not worried about anything because like you said, we are in the NFC East right now. The NFC East has a combined record of 5-18-1. We have 2 of those wins, which means everybody else in our division has only won 1 game, which means we're in first place right now, and technically we would get home field advantage in the playoffs at 2-4 right now if the season were to end. So as long as everybody else in the NFC East continues to lose, I'm fine. I mean, we might end the season 6-10 and still make it to the playoffs and still get a pretty decent draft pick for next season. So I'm not mad about it. I'm honestly if randomly the Eagles or, Giants or Washington football team actually starts randomly playing well the second half of the season and we don't, then I'll start worrying. But right now we're in first place. So I'm not, unfortunately, the NFC East, we're either all good together or we're all really bad together. But it always comes to the last game of the season to decide who wins the division. Nobody ever really sweeps the division except for actually Dak's first year at quarterback with the Cowboys. But, we've always been a really tight division. So we, follow trends with each other. And this year we just happen to all suck. So I'm okay right now. I'm actually not sweating bullets. I'm not sad. I'm not whatever. As long as we still stay over everybody else, I'm okay. I'm chilling.
Yeah, no, 100%. That is definitely. There you go. 2-4. That's what I'm saying. It's definitely something that could turn it around. But yeah, I think you said it best, and that's something that I've always found so funny about your division. Because I got friends that are fans of every team in that division. I got Eagles fans. I got Giants fans. Don't have any Washington fans because I don't think there are any fans that root for any Washington team, I guess. But yeah, and it's always the same thing. As long as I've known any of these teams, it's either they're all really good competing to the end, or they're all really bad and they're still competing to the end because there's still a chance. So I think that's hilarious. And you're definitely in that right now. But hey, like Britt said, they still in first. So my guy who blew up his TV and had to shoot it at the end, it's not that serious, my guy. Still early. You got time. Chill out. Moving on to somebody we were actually just talking about, and that is heard in the back. I heard Montel Jordan. I'm telling you, it threw me off. But yeah, going on to somebody we talked about earlier, and that is John Wall. And John Wall is going on to talk about. He is a Cowboys fan as well, so he went on to talk about his team on the Monday tailgate. But the thing was, John Wall was acting as if this was just a casual Zoom meeting with his boys because he was in the background playing spades, playing some sort of card game to the point where he didn't even know what the question was when he was playing the game in an interview on a show that was going live. I think this is hilarious. John Wall, ladies and gentlemen, here's the video.
The Cowboys are currently in first place in the NFC East and can have a pretty commanding lead with a win tonight. But that part is good. But be honest, John. How much have you enjoyed seeing the Eagles and also the Washington football team and also the Giants stumble out of the gate so far this season?
Repeat that question, please. I'm sorry.
How much have you enjoyed watching the other NFC?
He's I don't be playing with my spades, so I feel.
Oh my God!
Right. You can reschedule the spades game, though. I mean, this had to be scheduled. What is happening right now?
He had the nerve to ask for the question to be repeated, and the way that my dude repeated the question without a hitch, I thought that was hilarious. Oh well, what I said was John Wall. Did you know? I'm like, oh my God. Oh, so good.
I feel like he wasn't playing. Number one rule of being a reporter or whatever is you have to acknowledge the situation or it looks weird. So for them to be and he just whatever and be no, what's up with on the repeat I would have said, so what's up with the card game? Or said something funny about the cards, Right.
I
don't know. It's so funny.
Nah, they just kept going.
When we go live tomorrow, I think I'll try and play a nice card game while we're.
Hold on. Now I have to ask, Devin, do you know what spades is?
You know what? I literally don't know how to play any card games. I'm not even going to try and pretend. I have never played a single card game in my life. I don't even know how to play.
Not even Uno?
No fish?
No, I don't like games.
Spades is intense.
Spades is intense.
Over here, guys, I am queen right now. So our family does a spades tournament every Christmas, and me and my cousin's girlfriend are the reigning champs right now. So
nice.
I got to start practicing for this upcoming season.
Nice.
Yeah, I get in trouble. So I had to step away for a little bit because the competitive level I have is not healthy, so I had to step away from a little bit.
I just keep out all the time, and I'm like the girl that calls. I call my dad. I could be playing spades at like 3 a.m, and everybody has their different little rules or whatever. And I'm like, Dad, so when you have this, I'll call him at 3 a.m. talking about spades because I've been cussing somebody out about it. Like it's not.
Yeah.
No.
That's always the thing. That's why I hate when new people
because it's too intense of a game to be just chilling.
Yeah.
He's just chilling too much.
Yeah. I refuse to believe that Devin Howard has never played Go Fish in her life. But all right, I'm gonna let you have that.
Uno either. She hasn't even played Uno.
Not Monopoly, not Uno, not
Dominoes. No, you ain't played spades. You definitely ain't played no damn.
No, she ain't played bones for sure.
Man, that's my game.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Solitaire? Have you done solitaire by yourself? Have you done that one at least?
Solitaire.
Nope. Never.
Oh.
Beer pong. Can you?
Yes, I played beer pong.
Okay, fine. I was like, I gotta find at least one game this girl done played. This is ridiculous.
My mind is blown.
I went to UC Santa Barbara, which is a major party school, so I just have to say the drinking games I have experience.
Drinking games on okay.
Okay.
Right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the more you know right there. Because that's crazy. Not a single game. Go ahead, Devin. All right. But I'll tell you one thing. Some things never change, at least in the eyes of a lot of haters in the world. But we had some very innocent photos going up of two Clutch Sports athletes working out together, and those names so happen to be Lonzo Ball and Ben Simmons. So before I even you see the photos, you already know what's coming next. This is an open invitation for whatever's coming. It doesn't matter that Lonzo Ball shot nearly 40% from the 3-point line this year. His game improved. It doesn't matter because his rookie season will forever haunt him for as long as he lives, especially if he's going to be next to Mr. I don't like to shoot a 3-point shot to save my life across from him. So as you'd expect, the memes came out when these two players were working out in the videos and the pictures were coming out. Like this one right here, where it said a game to 11 still going on as we speak. And this picture was posted yesterday, and this tweet was posted up today of these pictures. And I was like, yo, the disrespect. It's probably true, but the disrespect is next level, and I thought it was hilarious. But you'd be surprised because I was looking for some other responses, and I actually had to look pretty hard because, look, the Bronx Sexuals ride or die with their Clutch Sports athletes because they're going in there talking about they're Clutch athletes. So this comment is whack, and people are going in talking about, yeah, they're in the NBA, so they jump shots still better than yours, and you on Twitter. Like, it was a lot of responses that were defending. I was actually genuinely surprised. So, hey, being on Clutch, that's saving Lonzo from a lot of these trolling cards. But at the same time, I did chuckle a little bit. I was like, that's a pretty good joke. Pretty good joke. But leave it alone. Speaking of pretty good jokes, Hassan Whiteside. I'll stop. I'll stop. This was actually pretty funny. Hassan Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside has some pretty crazy and funny Snapchats. Yes, Snapchats. I don't know if people still use Snapchats, but he has some pretty outlandish and crazy Snapchats that are just so random that they're funny. And this is another one of those times because he was just. And I don't know if it was Ralph's or wherever he was. He was in a grocery store going through the cereal aisle, and he just saw his man Tony the Tiger cleaning up on every type of cereal possible, and he lost his mind. So all I got to say to you is when you watch this video, imagine being that person that just going there trying to get your Honey Bunches of Oats or your Cheerios or whatever. You see this man talking to Tony the Tiger the way he is. Here's the video.
You ain't do that, Tony. Hey, Tony, you didn't level up on him like that, Tony.
What?
Yo, Tony leveled up on y'all. Honey Nut, Frosted Flakes. Stop playing. You didn't level up on him like. Oh no, you just gonna do that? You gonna take Cocoa Puffs too, Tony? Nah, Tony, chill. You see how Tony leveled up? He taking a Cocoa
Asking
vibe,
random people.
and he taking a Honey Nut Cheerio.
I thought that was so funny, man.
Cute.
His snaps are so random, but they are so damn funny. He notices the funniest things. I just thought it'd be hilarious to just walk through and see this man. Damn, Tony, you didn't let me know that you was upgrading like this. You are on the frosted, you on Honey Nut Frosted Flakes. What? You see this? Look at that. I thought, oh man, that's my wife side is wild for that, but that's so funny. But moving off of him, Britt Johnson. I know you love to be right, and I think after these pictures that this picture that I saw yesterday, I think you might have been right about something else. Now we know that the Lakers, I'll say demolished, even though they got to 6 games. They demolished the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals, and we had joked about Jimmy Butler wearing the Tyler Hero jersey, their exposure jersey, and we had joked like if he had won the NBA Finals, I had said I think he would wear a Miami Heat LeBron jersey, and Britt came out and said no, it would make more sense if he wore a Dwayne Wade jersey. Well, the Heat lost, and Dwayne Wade is out there still getting some work in while he's on his offseason, and he's on a yacht taking jump shots in none other than a signed Dwayne Wade jersey. And my conspiracy is telling me this was the jersey he had tucked away just in case the Miami Heat won the championship. So, Brett, I think you were right. We will never know. But I think that he had that one ready to go because he would not have posted this picture otherwise. I think he had that ready to go just in case the team won. So I think you had that. I got to give you your credit on that. I had to. I saw that and I was like, I had to. But
Chris, I'm consistently right.
Okay, see, I'm here trying to give you credit, and you still have to just like underswipe me, just like yes. Yeah, no, I get it. All right, Leo, we saw enough for her. Go ahead. We saw enough, Leo. Okay. I give her credit, and she side swipes me like that. I didn't deserve that. I didn't ask for that. Anyways, this one, oh my goodness. Even me, I'm not like I say all the time. I do respect the man LeBron James, but LeBron James haters are just next level. So
say
Jackie.
It again. Yes, they are. Nerve-wracking as hell.
Listen, I didn't even show you. Jackie's just ready to go. I need you. I know you're gonna be sitting there talking about like one of these when I start reading this next one. Show you this picture. So I just need you just breathe. Woosah. I got you on this one. But yeah, yes. So we got some crazy LeBron James haters out there. LeBron James just secured his 4th ring, and leave it to all the LBJ fans to come out here and discredit him on all of the victories that he has tallied up in his time in the NBA. Leo, can we show this picture? Look at that. Look at the disrespect going on. Those are the 4 rings, the one by LeBron James. And according to this dude, he had nothing to do with anything, or there was pretty much asterisks next to all of them. He's saying that the Cavaliers ring, that was Kyrie's fault. The Lakers win, that was because it was in a bubble. The Miami Heat win, the first one, was because it was a less season. It was the strike season. The first one they got. And then the last one was because of Ray Allen, because of that tremendous shot against the Spurs. Now, before I show this next picture, can I get Jackie Ray one more time? Jackie. I know you're looking at this and you're thinking this is absolutely absurd. Please talk to these haters. Go ahead.
So, I mean, first of all, that people forget that LeBron had to carry the Cavs on his entire back. The man should barely be able to walk right now because of that whole situation. Kyrie could not hold the lead whenever LeBron left the floor. How quickly we forget. And a strike season, anytime that you have a halt to your season and you have to come back over that's not an asterisk. That's like you did the damn thing. And everything else is just, I'm not going to say the R word. Everything else is just moronic. So, I mean, I'm sorry. Y'all, you gotta warn me when you do this, Chris, so I can get my language right. You know what I mean? But yeah, the rest
look at you all riled up. Well, just like the Ben Simmons and Lonzo Ball one, the LeBron James Clutch Sports fan base were going in hot on this one. So now I might have to trigger Britt Johnson a little bit because this was one of the responses that was put in the comment section. And yes, there's Michael Jordan wearing all of his rings, but you can't see him because apparently all those rings were had because of none other than Scottie Pippen. Someone even had the audacity to respond saying, "Nah, you could probably put Paxson on one of those rings, or maybe even Steve Kerr on one of those rings as well." Britt. So I know Britt was over there just like she got sideswiped. Her like, why Michael getting brought into this? So yeah, there it is. That's what I wanted. That's all. You didn't even need to talk. That's all I wanted. That face right there is perfect. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. Yeah, the disrespect, man. I tell you, this battle is going to go on longer than we are alive. People will be talking. People who have never even seen any footage of LeBron James or Michael Jordan still going to be saying that one or the other is the GOAT for as long as we live. And it is crazy to me. It was just tug of war on that Twitter post. But yeah, I don't know. That LeBron one was just a little too disrespectful for me. That's crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
crazy.
Clowns. It's clowns. I feel like everybody, every time they talk like that, they should put one more piece of clown gear on. You can start with the nose. Do that.
So as they're clowning them, they're putting on the nose.
Hair,
Like LeBron James ain't doing their thing. He's
Every
trash.
time.
Putting on the suit and everything. All right, bet. Getting into his clown car going to work. Yeah, I think that was wild. That was wild. But you know what? It's okay, Jackie Ray, because LeBron James is not worried. Because something else LeBron James is hearing all season was the fact that everyone believed that LeBron James is washed. He is not where he used to be, and he is not ever going to win no championship, especially in the Western Conference with the Los Angeles Lakers. And LeBron James took those haters' words and used it against them when he posted this picture. I also want to say that he did take it. The Lakers posted it first, but we'll give LeBron the credit. But he posted this picture right here with super #Wash King, but obviously he's playing on the words because he is drenched in champagne. So he's saying he's washed because he's washing champagne because he's a champion. For those who may not get it in the chat, but yeah. But can we talk about my man Lil Uzi Vert memes who made it into the post? Talk about is Bronny okay? I'm sorry, I thought that was funny. I was looking at this and just seeing
We haven't heard from Brian in a minute.
We have not. So just seeing
That's
that
what I
post
thought
on
about
live.
yesterday when we talked about the theme for Space Jam. I was like, I thought maybe it was going to be LeBron people trying to stop LeBron from whooping his butt. That would have been a better theme for Space Jam than the one we got yesterday.
Yes, come on. Let's work on that one. Let's get that going.
Oh my God!
So
LeBron is the hero and the villain. So Bronny's out there hiding from his own dad. So he's the hero and the villain in the movie. Okay, that's different.
That'd be great. That's hilarious.
That's so wild. That would have been funny for sure. But yeah, something that I want to bring. Here comes the Allbirds. We're gonna hear the in a second because Russell Westbrook. We know when he's in the off season that angry Russ, that aggressive Russ that we're so used to seeing on the court, it goes away for a little bit in the off season because he is all about his family and he's Mr. Family Man. So much so that he posted this picture of all of his little mini me's on his Twitter saying "my why" with a bunch of heart emojis. Yeah, look at all his little twins. All his little twins.
So cute.
Little man stunned just like daddy in the suit. Look at little girls, look at that, like, smiling and whatnot. Yeah, Russell Westbrook is just, he's full dad mode right now in the offseason. And you would have no idea that this person existed once the NBA starts back next season. So enjoy it now. Enjoy the peaceful and happy Russ for now.
Yeah. I feel like this is like he must be releasing some shoes soon because we all know his shoes are called the Why Nots, and so he's like, "Here's my why," and then this is like, is he releasing some new shoes? Because he hasn't had new shoes come out since the colorways that I got. What those were like December, January. Yeah.
Yep. He debuted them last offseason and they released in January. Yeah.
Christmas.
It's time. You're right. It's time. It's time. We'll have to add one to the list there for Britt. Yeah, it is time. It is time. And last but not least, I'm glad to bring back another great video to send off Post Up with, because this dude right here is look, if I saw this dude in any kind of open gym, if I'm not on his team, I think I'm gonna be sending out a few games until I am able to be on his team, because this man is out here playing at his size like he is a 5'10" guard. And when I show you this man, let me tell you what his nickname was. This man got the nickname in the chat, Luka Doncic. Check out my man right here, the original, the OG, big baller himself. Watch out, look at him go. Watch him. Watch him.
It looked like us yesterday.
Hello, give me that fadeaway. Defense, Rock him out.
Minus the sweat, though.
Excuse me.
He wasn't sweating like that.
Look at him. I'm here. Look at him.
Oh, the no look.
I'm out here. Defense. Let's get it. It's step back. James Harden. Who?
But how slow was that step back? That step back
it don't matter.
Slow.
Look at the pass. Look at the full court pass.
He's like, I ain't running over there.
Right.
The fakes. Oh my goodness. See me in the corner. I'm out. Defense. Look at that. High five me. I'm out.
He's tired.
Look at this guy. Yeah, he sure was. But look at it. Yeah, look at him.
He's like, ooh.
Luka Doncic. Yeah, I don't know. This guy right here, like I've played against some dudes that, are huge and they're a little bit overweight, but then you see them in the post, they doing like the what's his name, Magic Johnson, the hip hip pass and stuff like that. But look, this guy right here is next level, looking like a mixture of Kevin Love and Luka Doncic and James Harden and Jokic all in one. So shout out to that guy. I had my post up, but that's it for me here on Post.
Chris, you might have not got the joke, but yesterday we looked thicker because you were gone.
Yes.
So our box
Three, you guys?
looked like that guy because we were all thick yesterday.
Yeah, we really were. All of us.
Yeah,
we all gained maybe 8-10 pounds in our
Yay.
Yep. Missed it.
Dylan was like, welcome back to the Fumble. Oh, God. Welcome back to the Fumble, guys.
What happened to
I had a couple extra burritos over the weekend, so I guess it was showing on Monday.
Hilarious.
Jackie, now tell us what we not gonna do.
All right, guys. Once again, it's your girl Jackie Ray. Let's get into what we not gonna do. I don't know if you guys are football or soccer fans, as we call it. If you did, you probably know you're well versed in this topic that we're gonna talk about off top. We don't actually talk about a lot of football here on the Fumble. We do mention the big names from time to time when they get involved, usually with some Instagram model. But aside from that, we don't really talk about them too much. But Manchester City striker Sergio Aguero is in hot water because of how he behaved with an official. But I personally think it's a reaction. I want to kind of get what you guys think. But before I do that, this little video. There's tons of these videos all over YouTube or on the internet. These are guys and how they interact with refs. This is actually an accidental boob swipe, not a big deal. Some guys putting their hands on a ref after they think he made a bad call. It literally happens all the time. It's not an unusual thing. But nonetheless, for similar behavior, Sergio is in hot water. So I want you to take a look at this video that has everyone, especially across the pond. Everyone is very upset with his interaction with this official. So he's pleading his case. She's not having it. And then that. Now, I didn't see the video immediately. The first thing I read was the article that said he grabbed her by her neck and pulled her to him, which I was like, oh, God. But then, when you see the video, you kind of like, okay, whatever. It's not as bad as you think. But the narrative around this is terrible. People are saying that this was an aggressive act. This is a reason why females aren't really actively trying to get into this role, because they know they're going to be belittled by men. I saw an actual British sportscast say that this is very demeaning. He treated her like she was a little girl, things of that nature. But the thing is like, she had the power. She had all of the power in her hands at that moment. If she felt like she was threatened in any type of way, she could have done a yellow card. She could have ejected him from the game. She did everything. The 2016 rule that was implemented says if a player touches a ref in an aggressive way, they can do a yellow card. 2 yellow cards is equal to a red card, in which they get kicked out of the game. I don't care. She's a woman. She's smart enough to know that rule. And so if she really had truly felt threatened, I think she would have acted on that. And I don't like this gender debate about this specific moment in time. Because, again, I think that she had the power. So we did see some people that kind of responded alike to that. But his coach, obviously the coach is going to say something about this, but his response kind of made it worse, because he, at the end of the game, obviously the reporters asked him, how did you feel about how Sergio interacted with the female ref? And he said, come on, guys. Sergio is the nicest person I ever met in my life. Look for problems in other situations, not this one. This made it way worse for Sergio, because now people are saying, oh, his coach is advocating this type of behavior, blah, 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 blah. Females on Twitter were completely outraged. Men kind of somewhere like it's no big deal, somewhere impartial. But I kind of agree with these two guys. This first one says, Please tell me this would be such a big deal if it was a male ref. Women can defend themselves too, and she is in a position of power. She could have sent him off if she felt threatened. Stop reaching. I agree with that. She had all the power in that moment. This next one is kind of a good talking point as well. What's more patronizing to the officials is blowing this out of proportion because she's a woman and not because she's an official. I agree with that one as well, because I think at this point, like, why is this an issue? Why did I show you a whole video? And that actual video that I took that clip from is an 11-minute video of men putting their hands on a ref. A lot of people think it's funny. Some points in that video, it has that clown music because everyone thinks it's funny. She brushed it off and moved on. And so I don't know why we aren't brushing it off and moving on. So what we not going to do, though, is ask for equality. But at the same time, we want special treatment, because if you don't think that putting your hands on a ref in all those other situations is bad, as a woman, now you're asking for special treatment because he's a man and put his hands on you in this way. And I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think male refs get touched, it's no big deal. Female refs should get touched, it's no big deal. I think it has to be equal across the board. But Devin, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is being blown out of proportion, or do you think that him touching her and the way that he touched her is a big deal?
So, okay, when I first saw the headline, my initial reaction was the same as yours. I was like, oh my God, that sounds really scary. And then I watched the video, and I actually watched it 3 times to see if I was missing it, because to me, it didn't seem like it was that aggressive. I know that when he first approached her and was making his case, that was definitely heated. But when he put his hand on her neck, I didn't feel like it was forceful or too intense. I will say that I've been in situations where people I'm working with have put their hands on the back of my neck in a friendly way. And maybe it's because my neck is super sensitive or something, but it always makes me feel weird. I don't like it when somebody does that. But I do think that he probably just wasn't thinking. He was just trying to make his case. He's just trying to argue. So I do feel that this is blown out of proportion. And I agree that if the ref herself felt that it was inappropriate, she would have said something about it. She didn't. She obviously didn't feel threatened by it. So I think that it is kind of, it's being made into a bigger deal than it really needs to be. Because I didn't think that it was like an attacking move on her or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. I definitely don't think he owes an apology for this. But I definitely think it's one of those things that we're kind of designed to be sensitive. But again, that's not an equality issue. If you want everyone to be treated the same, then this just happens and you move on. So let's move on to this next one, because Chris kind of brought it up earlier. Some of y'all are like descendants of LeBron haters. Y'all gonna spawn LeBron haters. It's shameful. But I think he's one of the most hated people in sports, which I don't understand. This weekend on the Fumble story time, we actually posted a video where I went and I said LeBron is the GOAT. If y'all saw that video and you were one of the haters on that comment, let me just tell you right now, I stand by everything I said. But a few of y'all actually DM'd me the most hateful, some of it racist stuff, just because I said LeBron James is the GOAT, which is funny to me. But it just shows the level of hatred that this man has. I don't know why y'all let somebody occupy that much real estate in your mind for free anyway, if you hate him that much. But that's y'all. But aside from that, there's a lot of aspects of LeBron that I think people are missing in order to solidify their whoever they think is the GOAT, which for me, you guys know it's not Michael Jordan. But Richard Allen Jefferson, you guys probably know him because he played with LeBron for 2 years with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And he actually brought up a good point, because he says a lot of people are always talking about the fact that LeBron is lost in the finals. And he says, quote, now you guys, I'm going to read this slow because I think y'all haters in the chat need to really listen to this, use your math skills and really hear what he is saying. But he said, look, when we look at Bron's finals record, we don't ever talk about Jordan only went to 6 finals, because how many did Bill Russell go to? 13, 11 out of 13 or something crazy like that. Bron went to 10, and we talk about it. It's like Bron took a team there at 22 years old. He beat my Nets team with me, Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, 2 Hall of Famers. Then he went on to beat the Pistons that had 3 Hall of Famers probably on their team. And then he loses to 4 Hall of Famers and Tony Pop and Tim Duncan. But we would use it against him. It's like this guy lost in the finals, but it's like, why did Jordan only go to 6? Yes, guys, Jordan only went to 6. So what he's saying is hey, if we're not going to give credit for LeBron only winning 4, then maybe we should also use that same energy and say, hey, Jordan only went to 6. So LeBron's been to 10. Y'all not going to do it because y'all got this whole innate thing. I don't know. Probably look at your parents. Maybe it's in your DNA, this whole haterism thing that you got going on. I don't know. But what we not going to do here is ask anybody any questions, because I said it before. I'm going to say it again. It's LeBron, King Goat James. We will address him properly, at least here on this segment. That's all I got to say. Chris, get your vocal cords ready. Because it is time for Britt's takes.
Britt's takes.
Again, Chris, Devin got you yesterday.
I was waiting to see what Britt was going to say, because Britt.
Wow. Chris, you did well as well, but Devin's
wow.
Yep.
This is not a LeBron and an MJ kind of battle, but it is getting like that. It's going to get like that real soon.
Wow. Are you going to put him on probation, Britt? Is he on probation?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I was going to say, thank God. Okay, all right. Woo.
Don't the hesitation, though.
Yeah. What?
Freshmen always take the spot when somebody gets injured, when somebody's out of the game. So when you leave the game, somebody.
Look at Chris's face, though.
Wow.
His face, though.
Who is the freshman? I have been hosting on the Fumble longer than Chris. And longer than Jackie.
Is that true?
Yes.
You haven't been here longer than me.
Yeah. This is a conversation another day. We taking Britt's takes time. No. We ain't. This is a conversation another day. No.
Go ahead, Britt. Sorry.
It's actually a good setup for my topic today, because Ryan Fitzpatrick let a rookie take his spot. So the Miami Dolphins actually just announced earlier today, which Chris is going to be so excited about, that it is Tua time. He is going to be named he was named the starter officially for the Miami Dolphins. We know he played towards the end of the game on Sunday, after obviously the team was already up 24-0, but that's another conversation. But he came into the game, and now he is officially going to be the starter moving forward. The good thing is the team does have a bye this week, so he'll have a little bit of time to kind of, get acclimated and whatever he needs to do to get prepared in order to start on November 1st. I'm going to talk about that situation a little bit, but I know Chris is really happy. Tons of Bama fans are really happy. Even Dolphins fans are really happy, because we all know Dolphins have had fans in the stands, and every single time they've had a home game, people have been yelling to a time, but obviously their head coach has decided and did pretty good job. Brian Flores is the head coach over there, and he's done a really good job not listening to the temptation for the first 6 weeks, and just, letting Ryan Fitzpatrick play. But people are really excited because Tua, I'm going to just list some of the things that he did when he was in college. A national champion. He was also the college football playoff national champion offensive MVP. College has offensive and defensive MVP. All-American, first team All-SEC. SEC Player of the Year. He won the Walter Camp Award. He won the Maxwell Award. But to be very clear, all of these awards and things that he got happened in the 2017 and 2018 season. Most was 2018, except for obviously that championship, and that championship MVP that he won was in 2017 season. But the reason why is because in 2019, he had suffered that high ankle sprain in week 6 of the season, which actually he had to have surgery right away. 3 weeks later, though, he was back. That wasn't that big of an issue. And then shortly after he came back, we all know that the injury that sidelined him for the remainder of the season was that dislocated and fractured hip. He also, that same game, broke his nose and had a concussion. And then during off season now. Obviously it was a weird off season because of COVID. So he actually just had to send in a audition tape to all 32 teams. And I mean, luckily for him, his medical stuff checked out, and we all thought he was going to actually go lower than he ended up going, just because people didn't know what was up with his hip. I mean, to dislocate your hip and you're a quarterback, we all always see Dak doing his little twisty turn little thing. You got to be really loose in that hip area or whatever to be a quarterback. And people were kind of really worried about that. And he was still taken 5th overall by the Miami Dolphins. And people like your boy Chris Clark wanted him to start at the beginning of the season. We all know I was against that. Me and Chris have argued about it on several occasions. But he will be starting now. I don't think this is a great idea. I'm going to just say why. I mean, I think the AFC East right now, Miami Dolphins are in second place. They're in second place in the AFC East. They have a 3-3 record. Bills are above them with a 4-2 record. And Ryan Fitzpatrick was doing well. Like, obviously, this last game that I just spoke of, they were up 24-0 when they even put Tua in, and those are touchdowns that were scored by Ryan Fitzpatrick. He also, this season, up till now, he's had over 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, and I just feel like I'm not a person that likes to change things up when it's working. And we've seen the Miami Dolphins consistently get better over the course of this first a little over a quarter of the season, and I just don't think that you change it up now. I don't want Tua to play because it's been less than a year since his injury that sidelined him for the remainder of last season, and I don't think that they needed him right now. Yes, if you were going to bring him in, this is probably the best time to do it, just because they do have that bye. But then we're going to talk about them coming back from that bye. November 1st, they are going to be playing the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a guy named Aaron Donald on that team, and he is one of the best guys to go after a quarterback in the league, okay? He was the only guy at his position that got 99 on Madden this year. He got 99 last year. I think he knows he's a forever 99 because he wears number 99 on his jersey. And that's not somebody that, as a rookie quarterback coming in to start my first game, that I want to see on the other side of that line. I don't want to see a guy like that coming at me. I don't think this was a good moment because, even like Jackie said earlier about injuries and things like that, half of it is a mental thing. Yes, he did get a little bit of time where he's gotten to play, and go in later in the game, but just the energy of being a starter and being named starter, that puts a lot of different pressures on players. And then to now have to go up against the Rams and their defense and stuff in this moment, I just don't think that was the best time to have him come in, because we don't know what his confidence level is and what his mental is. Yes, he can say he's healed. The team has watched him obviously practice and this, that, and the third over the course of this season so far. But I mean, like I said, it was literally less than a year ago that he suffered that injury. And before that injury, he had another injury during that season. So we didn't even really get to see a lot of him in 2019. I'm nervous for him. I want him to do great, even though I do not like Bama, and I usually don't like people that come from Bama. I'm not a Bama fan at all. And I was sad when, the Jalen Hurts had to leave and stuff, like that whole situation, because I really, really like Jalen Hurts, but I think more than Tua. But I'm nervous. I want him to do great. He is a rookie coming in, but I just feel like the NFL is not a nice league, and they do not give a lot of second and third chances. So I feel like if he is not successful and does not have a good few games, he'll probably get benched immediately. And then from there, your confidence drops even more. And then this, that, and the third could happen. So I'm nervous about it. Chris, I'm obviously going to go to you because I know you've been talking a lot about it, and we've been, going against each other on this. Mm-hmm. I know you're excited, but can you tell me a little bit more about your thoughts during this time? And do you think he'll be okay starting against the Rams on November 1st? Or do you think that was the wrong time to start him?
Yeah, I think I'm going to surprise you. I hate this. I'm not a fan of it at all. Yes, I wanted Tua to start from the jump, but I hate how this is set up. This is set up terribly. They're 3-3. Yeah. They're about to go into a bye week. You mentioned everything. They're going to go in and play the Rams. This has the potential that Tua could go and lose the next few games. Confidence is going to be instantly shot. They might, like you said, they may bench him and then they put Fitz back in. That'll be an even worse situation. This is a Dwayne Haskins situation written all over. I'm not a fan of it. I wanted it to let it be a clean slate. We already know the Dolphins are Dolphins. They may not have been a better team. Who knows? So let it start from the jump and let them go through the lumps throughout the entire season. Don't go this far, have all these kind of hopes, and then if they start to suck, then they put that on Tua. I hate that. I hate that so much. Yeah. So, no, I'm not a fan of him starting right now. I think you let Ryan Fitzpatrick keep it going until they are the season looking hopeless, and then you put him out there. But, yeah, if you're not going to start at the beginning of the season, this was not the time to do it. I'm not a fan.
I am so surprised.
I know.
I thought I went to you because I thought you were gonna just try to go off on me about thinking this. Thank you, Chris.
Because I was excited. I was excited, but I hate it.
Very valid point. Yeah. I'm just glad. That means it's a valid point then, because Chris was thinking the complete opposite. And when I heard it this week, and I literally right before the show, I mean, it was like I had a whole different Britt's take, but I was like, oh no, I need to talk about this Tua thing, and I need to know what Chris thinks about it, because I know he's going to be so excited that his boy Tua gets to start. But I was like, it just doesn't make sense for him to start, and then his first game, I mean, he could have started this
Rams.
Week because they were playing the Jets. That's where he should have started.
Exactly. Right. That was when I saw the report, my reaction was, now? We're doing this now? Are you kidding me? After a game where you blew out the other team, Ryan Fitzpatrick had a great game, and now you're putting I was pissed. I don't know. I hope this doesn't hurt him. I comes down and plays well. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I'm rooting for him. I hope that he does great. And, this could be, I mean, if it goes the other way and he plays really well against the Rams, because the Rams had a terrible game this week. I thought they should have blew out the 49ers, and they had a terrible game this week. So, if he happens to do good, I think this is going to be really good for his confidence. But if not, this could go sour really fast. But that's Britt's take today.
Thank you, Britt, for that.
Can they change their mind?
Don't mess with my boy Tua. Don't mess with my boy Tua.
They got a bye week. They can change. I mean, they would look silly, but at the same time.
At least Tua won't.
Hopefully, Brian, like everybody else that watches the Fumble, hopefully Brian Flores also watches the Fumble, and he was my take.
Yeah, man. Yeah, come on, man. Don't do that to my guy.
Okay, before we close out the show, Jackie has been hosting at the Fumble longer than I have. I realized I made a mistake.
That sounds like that LeBron hater math that Devin over there doing. That don't add up. You know what I'm
saying? You can have whatever you want.
Look, longer than all of y'all combined.
Yeah,
that's right.
We know that.
Look, Britt Johnson is the Pat Riley.
My 5th anniversary. I didn't even get one congratulations on my.
Yes, we did. I thought we did it on the show.
No.
I remember us saying happy belated anniversary, but I specifically remember us saying happy anniversary.
I can't
Chris, do you remember?
All I was going to say is Britt Johnson's the Pat Riley. I'm the Eric Spoelstra. Just because I was a host long enough, I was behind the scenes. I was here. I was the Eric Spoelstra.
The whole time.
I was here.
And we did bring you in a couple times, Chris, to host Weekend Zone with me.
Okay. Make sure you subscribe, you guys. Tap the bell for notifications. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Share it with your friends. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. And we'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.